Good morning, blogsters. It's morning. It's time to wake up. Coffee's so warm on those chilly mornings, isn't it? It's not so bad today. It's very sunny. I'm gonna take my first sip with you, but I got something in my eye, so give me 1 second. I'd like to say good morning. Oh, I forgot my ear pods, so this is gonna be very loud. I can talk very loud. Especially since, oh, it's good. This morning I woke up chipper. Don't ask me why, because I didn't really sleep that good. Last night when I went to bed, I was just in a lot of pain, and weird pain. Like, I have been, how did I explain it to everybody so far that I talked to, all my friends and family on the phone? The keto eating, I don't know if it's because it's like practically gluten-free, or it could be gluten-free. It depends on who you are. Because something can be carb-free and still have gluten, because if it has enough fiber to counteract how many carbohydrates it has. That's how that works. It's net carbs that you count on keto or whatever, but that's what I'm paying attention to, is net carbs. Yesterday I did have some zero carb toast with my breakfast, and I usually just have like 1 slice. Yesterday I had 2 slices. I can't imagine that that was why I was in so much pain last night. Maybe I've just been doing so much and last night just caught up to me. I really don't even have any idea. The way I described it to my sister is, for the first time in a really long time, I didn't have like such intense pain. Like right now, I'm even after being in a lot of pain last night, right now I'm like sore almost, like I had a good workout. It feels like, you know, like that kind of sore. You know, like if I, you know, whatever. I don't know what I'm saying. What am I saying? What was I talking about? The way I described it to my sister. So for the first time in a really, really long time, I really haven't been having the intense pain that I've been having. So whatever I'm doing to my diet is helping that. So last night, to actually be in so much pain really threw me off, and it actually felt like the pain was exacerbated. So what I mean by that is, if you're in constant pain, your tolerance is like here. You know, like here's 10, and maybe you live at like 8 all the time. And you get used to 8 all the time. And not that you don't complain, because there's days where 8, you know, you just don't have the patience for 8. There's days when you just don't have the tolerance for 8. But for the most part, you're just at 8 all the time. So when you finally get down to like a 4, when you do peak to that 8, it's like you hit a 14. And I know that that's really not the case. Like last night, I was really in what seemed like a lot of pain. I couldn't get comfortable in bed. It was my right knee, and I kept having like position it. But I remember when I actually like ready to have the surgery, I really was at a 14. Like I couldn't even bear weight on it. This was nowhere near that. So it seemed like, at the time last night, it seemed like this is the worst pain ever. But then I put it in perspective right away, and I was like, oh, no. It's not as bad as when the surgery was. So let's just see. It's probably just swollen or irritated, or you did something to it too much, or you dropped it like it's hot or something. I don't even know. I haven't dropped it like it's hot in a long time. So today is October 31st. It's Halloween. I just wanted to come on here and tell you guys where I'm at with life, where I'm headed with the channels, and what you can expect coming in the future. So I want to first thank you all for giving me the time, the grace, the patience to heal. I really needed it more than I could have imagined that I was going to. I've had loss before, but nothing like this really. And with other things, all these extenuating circumstances, it's really just been like, but what I'm really proud of myself for, and I don't usually take pride in my stuff like that, like, you know, and I'll say, oh, good job, Jerry, is that I don't say sabotage eat isn't the right word, because we eat for comfort, you know, like my family. Oh, now I'm not the only person, and I'm not the only family, but my family was really like, you eat, well, we eat for everything. So celebration, sorrow, turn to food for comfort, for companionship, out of boredom. Like, that's one of the reasons, you know. But this time, I never left program. I never left program. In fact, we started doing like cheat Sunday, but I don't like to call them cheat Sundays, so I call them carb Sundays. But the first 2 times we did carb Sunday, I felt so lousy on Monday that I was like, is it necessary for me to do carb loads? Like, I don't think it's necessary for me to do the carb loads. And I just haven't wanted anything. Like, I've left myself permission to do, you know, there's a box of, I'm not lying, there's a box of fudge dipped devil dogs in the back of the freezer that's not open. If it ever comes down to it and I actually like need one, I will totally do that. But I know they're back there and I still can make wise choices. It is, I will tell you the truth, it's a lot easier to do this plan when you have some money. And I don't mean like I'm loaded, and I'm really not. We're kind of like just the opposite. Financially, we're still recovering from our trip. I owe my sister money that I absolutely intend to pay back, but the trip really threw us into like a little financial, and it wasn't just like the money to get there and back, or we really didn't spend much money while we were there. It's really like the gym had the week off of work. And I'm so grateful that he came for me, and I knew that this was going to be a bit of a tight crunch in this space. So it's just like we're having to economize. But the good thing was, before all of this happened, I was able to slowly stockpile keto ingredients, and that was really what is really been making it successful. The Nordic meal plan, or whatever new eating plans we're doing for our family, does require a lot of like vegetables and stuff, but they're also again, we buy like sporadically, so we don't buy like everything in a day. We do buy some, and in October, which is the end of October, but in October we did do like bi-weekly shopping. Like, we shopped in the beginning of October and then in the middle of October. But we were able to like get by with what we had, which was really good and really helpful. We sort of did like the rob from Paul to pay Peter sort of thing, and sometimes you have to live that way, especially when there's emergencies. Like, that's what emergency credit cards are for, right? For emergencies. And I think that somebody dying unexpectedly is considered an emergency, in my opinion anyway. Just my opinion. Car breaks down, somebody dies unexpectedly, those are emergencies. God forbid somebody has a hospitalization, that's an emergency. But the meal prep portion and having Jimmy really help me be on board has been so great. I have his ability to help me, or his willingness to help me, has really given me more strength and energy to do like the whole thing. So, perfect example. I'll give you a perfect example. So yesterday we made dinner. I found a recipe. We had some cube steak that we had bought to make chicken fried steak a while ago, and they kind of got like lost in the back of the meat drawer. That's like, I'm not going to complain about my family, but I like try to keep it organized, but not everybody keeps it organized, so then we lose stuff sometimes. So back in, we had like 6, and they started like the edge of 2 of them, like it was 2 3-packs. In each pack there was the edge of one of them that started to turn like a little frostbitten, like the white dusty thing that happens to meat when it gets frostbitten. I know that they were old. I know how old so don't worry about it. Like, but I'm trying to think, could I salvage these? So I just went onto Pinterest and I searched keto, Instant Pot, cube steak. And I really didn't find anything. A couple, but not really a lot. But I've learned so much already myself, like the science of it, that I was able to go ahead and recreate a recipe that somebody had in a keto way. So basically it was the simplest, least amount of seasoning recipes. It's called cube steak with gravy in the Instant Pot. And she had Instant Pot and oven. And basically it was salt and pepper, garlic powder. I left out the pepper because of Mom. We always add the pepper at the table. We can. It's fine. It really is. I will tell you, it does miss like a flavor level, but it's fine. I'm okay to just add it later. So it was salt and pepper and garlic powder. And they wanted you to use like arrowroot for like to keep it on the keto side, or what was the other flour? Oh, and it was rice flour if you wanted to keep it gluten-free. Like, they gave us choices. But I looked, and 6 cube steaks. I looked, and there's 2.5 grams of carbohydrates in a teaspoon of cornstarch. Now, the whole point of adding the cornstarch or the flour to the meat was to aid in the browning. And what I realized was I'm making like 6 portions and 2.5 carbs. Actually, I doubled it. So 5 carbs over 6 portions is only 1 carb per portion. And the whole rest of the ingredients didn't have any. So the other thing I substituted was to thicken the gravy, I used xanthan gum. And I'm kind of learning like how much xanthan gum you actually need to thicken. It's not a lot. Xanthan gum isn't super expensive. And it doesn't take as much like cornstarch to thicken like a cup of gravy that it did. That it takes like a quarter of the amount of xanthan gum to thicken a cup of gravy that it does amount of cornstarch. That's what I was trying to say. So when I make the cornstarch slurry in the past, as far as a roux is concerned, I know you can't get the flavor that you make with a roux with that, but it is definitely something like to play around with. I'm really looking forward to playing around with it and learning more and more. So it was just really good. It was like browning it in an Instant Pot and then deglazing the pot. I have to tell you something. If you have disabilities or you have mobility issues or your health is declining and you just can't cook at the stove for yourself, but you miss it, I highly recommend some electronic appliances. Now, I've seen 600 Pound Life. Don't put the thing in front of you on the couch. No, I'm kidding. If you have to, you absolutely have to. But I've seen like how it's gotten to the point where like people will abuse the system. I make sure that I'm the person who, like I always clean the electric griddle myself. So if I cook at the table with the electric griddle, I make sure I'm the one who cleans it every time. The Instant Pot, I'm the one who goes to the sink and takes the pieces apart, washes the little pieces, and then puts the rest in the dishwasher. Like, I make sure that I still get up and do what I can do all the time. And that's what I noticed yesterday. We were meal prepping. We made this meal. It was supposed to be a fend for yourself night, but I didn't have anything to throw together for myself, keto-wise. I had chicken cutlet parmesan left over from the night before, which I made keto. And, I mean, it still had some carbs because it had... I found Classico's garlic marinara sauce, or it's garlic and basil. Might be tomato and garlic. I'm not really sure. I feel like if I could take a picture of it, I'd put it in here for you. It only has 4 grams of sugar per half a cup, but it has a total of 6 carbs per half a cup. However, I don't use a half a cup for chicken cutlet parmesan. I ate it as is. I didn't serve it over bread or rice or pasta or any of the substitutions. I just ate it like that with a salad on the side. So I was able to take 2 tablespoons, so 1 tablespoon for each chicken cutlet, which turns out to be like 1 carb for all meal. And after I fried the chicken cutlet, I'm probably going to share this in the future because it was such a good recipe. I made pork rind breadcrumbs and I made them Italian seasoned, and that was amazing. Like that just, it was so comfort food. It just made me feel like home. And Jimmy's like, oh, I remember Pop my Pop never made like chicken cutlet Parmesan. He would fry cutlets or whatever. Like, I'm not saying he didn't fry cutlets, but he would fry cutlets, and he would make what was the cacciatore, like with chicken in pasta sauce. But that just reminded me of New York. Like I would get chicken cutlet Parmesan from a restaurant on occasion, so type of thing. So it just had a very homey feeling. It was very good. It was just, I don't fry normally, and I think this is why. Can you guys see that on the camera at all? I had a grease splash. If you ever have a grease splash, you know, any burn, you just cool it, is what we were taught. Just cool it, run it under cold water, if you know, if you have it, and just cool it down. They tell you don't put anything on a burn. I know we've heard aloe, and there are burn creams that could be prescribed, but anything that you put on it could continue to like actually work like an insulator and keep the burn going. So just leave it uncovered. It's not going to be a huge scar, but it was weird. It was just like I was gently laying the cutlet into the fry oil, and it slipped out of my fingers. Like the crumbs stuck to my fingers, and the thing went psh, and it splashed up on me. And that's why I like my sink clean, so I could just run over. If there's ever an emergency, I go right to the clean sink. So anyhow, so we meal prepped, but you know, I ate that cutlet for lunch yesterday, so I didn't have anything for dinner last night. And so I said to him, I'm like, help me, we'll make this. And then we made a batch of egg roll in a bowl. So I have some food in the refrigerator for the future. Today we're making breakfast because Jim's working tonight. It stinks. It's Halloween night and he's got to work, but it's okay. He gets to dress up, so that's what he's looking forward to. We're gonna make like the whole pack of bacon and keep bacon in the refrigerator. It's just a really good meal prepping. Seems to be something that's really working out for us. I found a 0 carb banana nut muffin, but it's not nuts, banana muffin on Amazon, and they were really good. So yesterday morning I had one for the first time. She tells you different ways that, and the package tells you different ways that you can have them. So I added walnuts, and you can eat the cold out of the refrigerator. You can microwave them for a few minutes. You can leave them, like get them come to room temperature. But they're best when they kept in the refrigerator, which is weird, right? But because they're made out of nuts and seeds and stuff. It's not because there's no wheat in there. So anyway, they were really good, and I had one yesterday, and I'm like, I got my 12 portions, I got my 12 muffins. If I'm smart, they'll last 12 days. Obviously, if Jim wants some, they'll last a week, and that's okay. So it's been really good. Oh my goodness. So all of this is like, okay, how long have I been babbling? 18 minutes to tell you that I never even talked about the channel. Okay, so things have been going really well. Anyway, when I started this, the reason I was telling you this whole story, oh my gosh, was to tell you that like yesterday someone made egg roll in a bowl. I sat at the table and I chopped up all the veggies while he was browning. Well, first he started cooking I added peppers last night, so he started cooking the peppers and onions. Then he added the ground beef, and I was chopping up all the cabbage and the garlic and making the little things. And then I was able to go to the stove and finish it. So like the fact that he was helping me, he helped me do dinner, I was able to go ahead and do more by myself at the stove. So it's really I feel like my stamina is increasing. I feel like my energy is really improving. I'm taking electrolytes, which my sister told me about. She's like, there's keto flu. You'll just feel like you're ill all the time. I'm like, she's crazy. Not she's crazy. I wanted to feel it for myself so I knew how to recognize it. I know that sounds dumb, but I started drinking electrolytes, and I'm like, oh my goodness. No, just Walmart's generic brand of electrolytes, and you mix them with water, kind of like a Kool-Aid mix-in, or like a Crystal Light mix-in. However, I don't really like the concentrated sweetness, so I actually add 1 bottle to like a 32-ounce bottle of water. I had 1 pack to a 32-ounce bottle of water instead of a 16-ounce bottle of water. So I get it's really almost like flavored water for me. So I like it. And I'm trying to remember to drink that every day so I can keep up with what's going on. I know there's other ways to get electrolytes. I do have like some Powerade Zeros and Gatorade Zeros down there for like a quick fix, but those are so sweet to me. Like, I feel like I want to water them down. But anyway, so I feel like I turned a corner. I feel like that's the way Sharon put it, and I feel like that's the best way to describe it. I've turned a corner. I feel like I'm ready to move forward. I will tell you, in all full disclosure, we took out the autumn Halloween stuff, and we did a major purge, got rid of like 2 whole boxes, like 2 whole Rubbermaid tote type situations. I just got rid of stuff, 2 whole totes full of stuff. Actually, it's like 2.5, because one of the totes that I have left is only like a half a tote. Oh no, that's not right, because the basket, never mind. I was mistaken. I have a big witch basket that I put all my candy in for the trick-or-treaters, and that's still out. But I did like this major purge. We decided not to decorate for autumn and Halloween, or decorate more. And I will tell you, Halloween is almost 100% parallel to me to Christmas. However, at the time, I was not in a celebratory mood. It's not just my brother's passing. It's also like coronavirus. It's the election. It's a lot of stress. It's a lot of stuff going on. It's everything that's happened in my family before my brother passed. There's a lot. So I was like, you know what? Fresh start. Like November 1st. Fresh start. I'm planning on putting up a DIY for November 1st, which is tomorrow. So it's either going to be like posted at midnight or like during the day, Sunday. But the thing is, I know you guys look forward to like midnight videos. However, I have to start really being smart about when I post. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I like the midnight videos. What I was actually contemplating was leaving the main channel almost exclusively for DIYs and Dollar Tree stuff, like bargain hauls, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, and then like DIY stuff, or Hobby Lobby, or whatever like that. That's like, you know, like lifestyle type of vlogs that I normally have been doing. And then putting everything else over on the vlog channel. I don't know. I wanted it to be the opposite. I wanted to just vlog here and everything else be on that channel. But it's not, it doesn't seem to be working. And I will tell you, in all honesty, I'm torn because I've got to start earning more money. Jim loves his job. Like, he loves his job. He's getting paid less than half of what he did at his last job because they just don't have the hours, and he's not quite making the same amount per hour. So I need to really work harder. I need to push myself. I kind of feel like this 2 months between the trip and the eye stuff and going to the doctor and starting the new medications and all the things, that it really felt like it was just a reset that I needed. I needed to just get into a routine of self-care so that I can be here for you. It's kind of like that whole mask thing. You have to put on your own mask before you can help others. And I have to really be able to take care of myself so that I can teach you guys. I don't want to come on here and be sad and vlog and be miserable and be in pain. And I know that that's reality for so many of us, but it was getting to the point where it was bringing me back. It was bringing me down further. So like, to watch as I edit my sadness, it's like, oh, you guys have no idea. If I could just vlog straight through and just post it without watching it, that'd be a different story. But we have interruptions sometimes, and I have phlegm sometimes, you know, just things that need to get cut out of the vlog. So I am really looking forward to restarting. I'm really looking forward to Christmas. I'm focusing that on Christmas. I did ask Jim if we could leave out something. So I have so much content to share with you on my phone still. I've gotten so much friend mail over the last couple of months that I didn't feel, it felt great to get. I didn't feel like sharing joy. I know that sounds dumb because that's what we're supposed to do. But when you feel sad, you feel guilty about being happy. So I do have some content to share with you. I received a gift, and in the gift was like a plastic bag that almost holds like a comforter or something, or a sheet set. Like I told you guys, I love those bags. Well, this one was pretty big, and I said to Jim, if we move all of the autumn linens into this bag, we can leave out autumn linens. Like we can leave out a few things for Thanksgiving. So I've left out all my autumn linens, which is really, I'm really happy about that because it still does make me feel like autumn. And he said, but you said you wanted to start decorating for Christmas. And I do. I'm going to make an early start of decorating for Christmas. Not because I want to get on the bandwagon of early starters for Christmas. The reason is because one of the reasons we haven't decorated properly for like the last 6 holidays is because it's taking Jim a little bit longer to help to get the stuff from the attic and to get started. And I thought if we started early, it would give him time to procrastinate. I know that sounds dumb. And that's not a complaint on my husband. It's just that that's the way things are working. So you have to accommodate. So I think we're going to start early. I think that what I said to him was I would just really like to get the living room possibly set up for Christmas, and then the rest of the house can stay like sort of Thanksgiving and autumn. If we even get that far. Who knows how far we'll get. So I have a couple of things, and I said, oh, I left out 2 of the Dollar Trees kind of like long signs that said like gather or whatever, because I said I can put those in the linen bag easy with all the linens that I have. So there's holiday linens in the bathroom, there's holiday linens in the kitchen, like the tablecloth and that kind of stuff is all going to be set for Thanksgiving. As far as cooking for Thanksgiving, I said to him, his job is offering a complete meal with a whole smoked turkey. And I was like, can you work that money off? So we were kind of like gonna put it up at our next like little family meeting or whatever. So to decide if that's what we might want to do. I followed Tammy Trent. Tammy Trent spoke. She's a Christian artist from like the 90s. Well, I think she's still performing, just that she had big hits in the 90s is what I meant to say. She spoke at one of the Jennifer Rothschild's freshly grounded faith events that I went to. And I started following her on Instagram. And she, on her Instagram stories, went into, she's like, I got my turkey. She's like, I know Thanksgiving is not for weeks and weeks, but if we have a second wave and we're shut down, I want to make sure we have turkey. So I was like, that's a good idea. But it's really funny because it's like, Mom likes a drumstick on Thanksgiving, but not even a whole drumstick, or some thigh meat, and then breast meat. And then, like, so you make a whole turkey. Nobody's going to eat it. If I make a turkey, now that I'm on keto, I can eat as much as I want type of thing. So, like, will I do that? I want to save this carcass for soup. I didn't save any turkey carcasses. I didn't save any bones for soup all of last year, all of 2019 to 2020. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be difficult to navigate. Not difficult, exciting actually, to navigate where we're going for the future. So what I'm going to do for today is I'm going to go make breakfast. I don't know that I'm going to DIY for tomorrow. I think I'm going to film like how I show you between season cleanups. I might not. I don't know. I really don't. I'm going to see what moves me. I have so many Christmas DIYs that I have in my head that nobody has done yet. And I'm kind of like, I want to get them out before somebody does them. Actually, I take that back. I've only been able to watch 2 to 3 DIYers. I take that back. I haven't seen any of those DIYers do it yet. So I hope, you know, I hope I can get them before they get jumped on. They get jumped on. You crazy. Anyhow, so that's where we're at. And I want to thank everybody again for all your love and support on this channel, on the main channel, with messages through Instagram, Facebook. Nobody really follows me on Twitter, but everything that I share on Instagram goes over to Twitter if you have that. And a little bit on the TikTok, but there's not much on there. And a couple of people follow me on Snapchat, but I'm almost never on Snapchat. I respond back to Snapchat, but I don't snap. Anyhow, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And as always, you guys take care. God bless. I'll see you next time. Smile for the thumbnail. Bye.